derivational.
Ajá, suffix.
Because
Bien.
it's forming a new type of word.
Bien, it turns the adjective into what? Claro, which is a new type of word?
A noun.
A noun, tal cual. And what's the meaning of ness?
The state, quality, or instance of being.
Perfecto. ¿Y ahora qué otro? A ver.
Semi.
Sí, a ver, dale.
That is a prefix and the meaning is half.
Claro, pero Sofía, a ver. Sí, como venimos haciendo las otras palabras. ¿Cómo sería? One.
Bound. And
Sí.
derivational.
Ah, bien, prefix. Semi, which means what?
Half.
Half. Ahí está, muy bien. The last one, unpleasant. Brisa, can you take it, please? Bien. Victoria, are you there?
Yes.
Dale, a ver. Can you take the last one?
Yes. Please is the free lexical morpheme. I took it as a verb. I'm not sure.
Sí.
Please, and is a bound derivational suffix. It turns
Sí.
the verb into an adjective.
Sí.
And on is a bound derivational.
But the meaning of ant?
I didn't look it up, that one.
Yes, you have to.
I look it up and it says, one second, that it is or does something.
Exacto, muy bien. That it is or does something. Exacto, in this case, to please. From please, pleasant.
I have a
Bien.
different.
I finished.
Sí, please.
And on is a bound derivational prefix. It shows the opposite.
Tal cual.
Negative.
Exacto. Pleasant, unpleasant. Bien, chicos, questions, doubts regarding morphology?
Yes, I have a different analysis for
Dale.
unpleasant.
Dale.
I put free lexical morpheme as pleasure, which is a noun, and then and the bound derivational suffix changes the noun into an adjective.
Claro, no, Pedro, but in this case, please is a verb, which is the free morpheme. Please, from please, pleasant.
Okay.
¿Sí?
So I was
Y para
incorrect.
pleasure, claro, pleasure will be another word. ¿Sí?
Okay.
Claro, from please, the verb, the noun, pleasant. Which is, from please, the verb, the adjective, pleasant. Placentero.
Okay. Thank you.
And then the opposite, unpleasant. Bien, chicos, ojo, a ver, I insist. Remember, now you say bound derivation as suffix or prefix, no more morpheme. Remember to mention the meaning, see, of the prefix or the suffix, and if the suffix changes the part of speech, you should mention that. See, you should say that the verb turns the suffix turns the verb into a noun. O sea, lo tengo que mencionar. But I think you're on the right track. Any questions or doubts?
Yes. Can you repeat the suffix, the meaning of the suffix th?
Sí, ¿quién lo puede repetir? A ver, who can?
It was denotes action or process.
Okay.
Micaela, I have no idea if there is a website. I suppose that there is. See, there must be a website in which you can find all the meanings of the prefixes and suffixes. Now, be careful. I mean, Sí, exacto, one by one on Longman. I suggest that you use a dictionary. Why? Because that's a reliable source. ¿Mm? Bien, ahí escribieron el análisis. Muy bien.
Another thing that could be really helpful to do this is to read the list that is in the book that you mentioned, the Grammar and Vocabulary for First Certificate. There you have like a column in which you have all the prefixes and suffixes separated in units, and then we have words as examples.
Tal cual, Ludmila, muy bien. It shows that you've been working with that book. And there's a lot of practice in that book. And you can even check with the guideline. O sea, lo tienen todo servido, chicos. Lo único que tienen que hacer es descargar. O sea, ahí te das cuenta quién está trabajando, o sea, sí, porque fíjate, o sea, no necesitas buscar una página web con los meanings de los prefixes y suffixes. Lo tenés ahí y está muy claro. Está bien en un cuadrito y después al otro lado que tenés el meaning, te dice si cambia el part of speech, y después en la otra página de al lado tenés la práctica. Hay que empezar a indagar un poco más. Está todo en el campo para ustedes.
¿De qué libro están hablando? Perdón.
Ahora lo escribo en el chat, así les queda a todos.
Vale, gracias.
Mándalo por el grupo directamente.
Perdón, and no es un inflectional suffix, es un derivational suffix. Sí, pero sí, a ver, el diccionario como dice Pedro, o si no, como dice Ludmila, chicos, tienen el libro ahí en el campus, lo único que tienen que hacer es descargarlo. Van a la guideline y ahí te va a decir qué práctica, de qué libro y en qué unidades. Lo tienen servido. Sí, o sea, que ni siquiera tienen que buscar una webpage.
Sí, yo no lo encontraba.
Claro,
Por
pero
eso
entonces
busqué.
ahí me da la pauta, sí, vamos. Bien, chicos, ¿alguna otra pregunta que me quieran hacer? No? Next Friday, see, we are going to deal with gender. See, it's relatively, no, it's not relatively, it's very easy and short. So we are going to deal with gender. We are going to correct some phrases. See, did you finish the file on phrases?
I think that most of us did the first 15 of the phrases.
Finish the whole set. See, finish the whole set. So next, because today we finished, I mean, we checked morphological classification. So for next week, the phrases. We are going to check the phrases. If you have doubts, as you guys, I mean, everything, please, you ask me next week. And remember that the file on sentences have the key. See, the file has the key. So you do it alone, you check. If you have questions, you ask me. Yes, but that is for you to do on your own. So next week, we are going to focus on the phrase and gender and your doubts. See?
Yes, I just have a doubt because I don't want to continue making practice without knowing it specifically. When we analyze a sentence and there is a subclause, we have to, we don't have to analyze the subclause as we said before, but in the answers, I find that, for example, it said subclause in non-finite or a finite subclause.
No, Mira, that is a subordinate clause. Ese SV means subordinate.
Okay.
You have to identify if it's a sentence, if there is a subordinate clause in the sentence that functions as subject, object, or complement, you have to identify it. Why? Because it fulfills a role in the sentence. A eso voy.
Yes,
si yo oración es, I believe that you stole my money. I is the subject, believe is the verb, is monotransitive, so it requires an object. The object is that you stole my money. So that is a subordinate finite clause. The function is direct object. Ahí sí, o sea, lo que hago es identificarla y le digo forma y función. Lo que no tienen que hacer es meterse adentro de esa clause y analizarla, o sea, identificar el sujeto, el verbo. No, eso no.
Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'll say it quickly. I have a question about phrase analysis for next class. If you have a noun phrase and that noun phrase has a post modifier as a prepositional phrase, do we analyze the prepositional phrase?
Exacto. First, you identify analyze the noun phrase. And if there is a phrase inside the phrase, then you have to analyze that, as Pedro said, the prepositional phrase. Ahí sí.
Oh, so we have to
Ahora,
say which is the preposition head and the complements, etc., etc.
Exacto, tal cual. Exacto, Pedro. Suppose that the complement is another noun phrase, you have to analyze the noun phrase. Es como que ahí sí me meto para adentro. Pero ¿qué pasa? Suppose that there is a noun phrase, and it takes a relative clause as a post modifier. In that case, as it is a clause, you don't have to go inside. O sea, ¿me meto adentro cuando es una frase? Si es una cláusula, no. O sea, lo único que hago es identificarla, digo que es una relative clause, and the function is post modifier. ¿Por qué? Porque esa es la función que cumple dentro de esa frase, nada más. No me meto después a analizarlo. ¿Sí?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Voy
Thank you.
adentro. Voy adentro simplemente cuando hay una frase dentro de la frase. Ahí sí. Si no, no. Exacto, tal cual, Hugo. Sí, exacto. Sí, sí. Aldana, ¿vos me querías preguntar algo?
Yeah, it was the exactly same thing that Peter asked, if we had to analyze the prepositional phrase and then the complement and the preposition inside the phrase. So yeah.
Exacto, tal cual. Cuando hay una frase dentro de la frase, ahí sí me meto. Cuando hay una cláusula dentro de la frase, lo único que hago es la identifico con los corchetitos, digo forma y función, porque esa es la forma y función que cumple dentro de esa frase. No me meto luego a analizarla, porque eso, en realidad, cláusula, la van a ver bien el año que viene en detalle. ¿Sí? Ahora solamente la necesitamos porque es un componente más de la frase. Pero la identificamos en cuanto a forma y función, ya sea en la frase como en la oración. Nada más, no me meto adentro. ¿Mm? ¿Sí?
Okay, great. Thank you.
Bien. Any other question or doubt? ¿No? Bien, chicos, nos vemos. See you next Friday. ¿Sí? So please do the practice. Hay también otro artículo, el del Guardian, ¿se acuerdan que les dije ayer? Para que Jessy ya tiene el aquí. No se abataten, esperen, o sea, yo iría paso por paso, termino el de frase y el de oración después, total tiempo tienen, ¿sí? Para no tener que abarca mucho, poco aprieta. Pero bueno, para que sepan, hay otro archivo más, con la key.
Okay.
Bien, chicos, so see you next Friday. Thank you for being here today and have a nice weekend. Rest.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.